Make sure you like. Make sure you
share,
and hit that what? All right. So make sure you do all those things. You want to say anything else? Hey, my vibrations, it's V to the I to the B to the mother of 5E, and I'm coming to give you a little commentary on today's video that I have for you. It's still day one of Scentsy Family Reunion in Austin, Texas, and the little clips that I showed you in my last video were the beginning of the general session. And now we split into, we cut to the part where I'm just going to give you like a little rundown, because I've showed you a picture of Heidi Thompson, who Orville, her and her husband, Orville and Heidi Thompson. Orville was the president of, Orville was the CEO of Scentsy Family, and Heidi is the actual, she was the president. But we learned at Scentsy Family Reunion that Dan Orchard is now the president of Scentsy, and Heidi and Orville are co-CEOs of the company, so that they can focus more on the branding part of it, the keeping it family, keeping it, you know what I mean? And I love that. I love that about it. And I'll slap a picture in there of Dan Orchard, because I did get to meet him on my birthday. So on August 3rd, look for that. So in that video for for the Saturday, I will show you a picture of him. Now Heidi does a keynote speech, the beginning of the reunion, and Orville does the end of the reunion. So Heidi's, she came out, and as you see from the picture, she had on some hiking gear, and she wanted to, for a long time, I'm waiting for them to put the video up so I can get the details. I did take notes, but the notes that I took, I did not get any of the details about her trip, but I know it was one of the pilgrimage that took them, like, I think she said it took them 64 days, and they traveled 20 some miles each day, and they were tired. So that was like really the no limits, because that's the theme for Scentsy Family Reunion, was no limits. So she was telling us the 12 things as she went on her journey. Her and Orville went on this journey. They were in, oh gosh, I forget what country they were in, but they were somewhere, and she did this trek, this pilgrimage trek, across somewhere to somewhere. I'm going to get the information, and I will try to have that in a different video. But for me, the basis was the notes that she gave us, and she gave us 12 things that we can use to have no limits for ourselves. So number one was be sure to rest, do not burn out, don't quit. Number two was find your shade, because without shade you can't experience the joy of the sun, and be the shade for others. 3, things aren't always what they seem. Don't believe your own negative thoughts. Work through your own limiting beliefs. 4, say you're sorry. Admitting when you're wrong frees your soul. Apologies can restore relationships. It helps you stay humble and never apologize for who you are. Number 5, avoid the cow pies, because on the journey, they came upon a whole bunch of cow pies, and she was saying that gossip is like cow pies. So avoid being gossipy, avoid being mean. Go around, not through them. You know what I mean? Go around them, but don't go through, you know what I mean, the piles of dung. Don't carry the crap with you is basically what she was saying. Number 6, lighten your load. Heavy loads build strength. And she was saying that because they had to carry these big backpacks on there because they had to carry their food for that whole entire time that they were out walking, their water, their food, their one change of clothes, and it was a lot that they were. So she was like, so just lighten your load. So as they went along, their load got lighter because the food started replenishing. You know what I mean? They were dropping things off to people. And number 7, take your socks off, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, to let yourself breathe, let yourself, you know what I mean, relax and take a load off. Don't always wear those heavy socks that you've been walking in for a long time. Take them off and rinse them out, and you know what I mean, refresh them. Number 8, the lessons of the hills. There are hills no one tells you about. Sometimes the downhill is harder than the uphill. Learn to take the ups and the downs. Whenever there's a downhill, there's always an uphill. So that was number 8. So number 9 was see how far you've come. Take time to see how much you've grown. And she was telling us about what she learned in that journey that they took, because I mean, this was weeks that they did this. It was I think they said it was like 64 days that I want to say it was 64, but it might have been 94 days, which I do think it was 64 days, because I believe they had just came back before we did Sensi Family Reunion. Oh, this sun is beautiful. I am getting my vitamin D. But here we go. Number 9 was take the time to see how much you've grown, which is see how far you've come. Number 10, trust the arrows along the way and stay on the path. So she was saying that on this path that they had took, that there were arrows that other people had let them take, that left in all different, there were arrows, some people did with sticks and some people used rocks to show them, okay, this is the way to go, don't go this way, you know what I mean? There was always a path for them to follow. So stay on the path. Number 11, pain is a source of strength. Work through it, embrace it, grow through it. And they were just saying, she was saying how tired they were and how their feet hurt and how her back was hurting, and when they stopped to take a rest, it felt like it hurt even more. So they tried to keep going and going and going. So she just was like, the pain is the source of your strength. So I can attest to that. That is the truth. And number 12, don't hurry to get there. You'll miss the beauty around you. And she just showed us pictures of their journey and the beauty that they did see, because she thought, and she was like, she thought she saw this plastic flower in the field, and when they got close to it, it was just a bottle on it was like a milk jug sitting on a stick. So she was just like, that just was like, just embrace the beauty, because the beauty that she saw was a plastic bottle on a stick, and it looked like a plastic flower to her. So she was just like, embrace all of everything that you take in, and know that even the sky has no limit for you. And that was just her little her keynote speech. And in there, it does have a quote from Les Brown that says, life has no limitations except the ones you make. And always an inspirational beginning to our time at Sensi Family Reunion. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Thanks for watching. Hey, my vibrations, it's V to the I to the B to the mother of 5E, and I am back because I gotta give you guys some more little information about the speaker that we had at first general session. So first general session is always Heidi's keynote speech, and then we always have a speaker. So this year the speaker was James Clear. Now James Clear wrote a book that Heidi read, and she wanted to share it with us. It is called Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results, Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear. So as you saw in the pictures that I the one picture that I showed you, his name is spelled C-L-E-A-R, if you guys are interested in that book. And that is what he looks like close up. So he talked to us about habits, and I did take a couple notes, so I'm just going to go over the notes that I took. And I intend on getting the book and reading it, so that because I always love to read the things that over and over and over again. So reading the book versus him just giving us little snippets of I think it was an hour. It was either 30-minute talk or 45-minute talk that he gave us. So here are some of the bullet points that I took, some of the notes that I took. And he said the aggregation of marginal gains. And I just like the way that sounded. And that was like one of the first things that made me want to read his book. And he said the power of tiny gains. And habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. So then I wrote 1% changes matter. And that goes back into the power of tiny gains. So basically he was saying that even that 1% of a change that you make, or that 1% of a gain that you have, celebrated. If you're going to, and then I wrote, if you're struggling to improve your system. And that was something that, like an aha moment that I had, because he's saying change the way that you're doing things. Like, I mean, that's part of law of attraction, is to take things and take in the good, to push out the negative, is what I'm trying to do. And by him, that one little thing, if you're struggling to improve your system. And that has been like the reoccurring thing for me this year, has been my system, my routine, the things that I use, the tools that I use to move along in this phase of my life. And here's some other notes that I wrote. You do not use and it's always how when you write them notes so fast, and then you trying to reread them back to yourself. You do not I don't know what that word is. You do not something to the level of your own goals. You fall to the level. Oh, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So many good, like little snippets that I took that make me want to read the book. Here's another one. It's about alignment between your desired outcome and your daily desires. So that those need to be in alignment. Now here comes the 4 stages to each habit. So you have Q, which is the trigger to initiate your habit, something that gets your attention. Then you have the craving, the prediction that compels you to act. Okay, then you have the response, the actual habit you perform is your response. And then you have your 4, which is your reward. The result that satisfies your craving reinforces habit for the next time. So that's your craving. And then he told us about 4 laws of behavior change. So he told us how to build a good habit, and then how to do the opposite, which is to destroy a bad habit. So number 1, for the 4 laws of behavior change, number 1, which is Q, Q-U-E, not C-U-E, which is to make it obvious. So to point out that habit. Number 2 is to make it attractive, which ties in with the craving. 3, which is to make it easy, which ties in with the response. And then 4, to make it satisfying, which ultimately ties into the reward. So those are your 4 laws of behavior change. So to change those, just do the opposite, to make it to, depending on, you know what I mean, if you're trying to break a habit or if you're trying to build a habit. Okay, so it says to make it obvious, and I have see pictures. So I'm going to insert those pictures here so that you can see there's about 5 or 6 little pictures of the slideshow that he showed us. And so, okay, so, and then 1 was make it obvious. So see the pictures. 2, habit stacking. So this is your anchoring. So many people, so I wrote, many people think they lack motivation when what they lack is clarity. And that was another aha moment. I do lack clarity. I don't lack the motivation because I have the motivation. I can get myself up and I can do it. It's just the clarity in it. And that was a boom eye opener. So number 3, I have make it easy. Each morning there's a moment that determines the rest of my day, and that is the truth. So how you get up and how you move along your day, it can go from somebody waking you up and you're not ready to get up, and then you're cranky and you're angry, but you can always switch that. And you can make it easy. You can make it to where you have time to do things, and you don't have to. You can switch that negative right to a positive. And I wrote 2-minute rule. No matter what habit you want to build, do it 2 minutes or less to start out. So say you want to journal for 2 minutes starting out, and then do more. Just do it. Use that 2-minute rule. Then I have show up. Habit must be established before it can be improved. So you have to show up for yourself. You have to start that habit, and you can develop that habit. You just have to show up for yourself and make it a point to keep going, to build it, to establish it. 4, make it satisfying. Don't break the chain. Habit journal, never miss it twice. So when we were reading this, when he was saying these things, I was thinking about never miss it twice, because I had already missed twice of my Guns and Buns challenge, and I was trying to establish that habit. But there are times when we have to break the habit, but as long as we push ourselves to get back into that good habit, because I'm not looking at habits as all bad now. I see them as good, as goals, as improvements. So that was one of the things that I have for habit journal. I was thinking, when he was saying that, that's what I was thinking about. Oh my God, I broke my habit of the Guns and Buns. I was at day 26, and I didn't even get to day 30. Okay, and here's some more notes that I have. Is the true behavior is a identity change. And that was a big eye-opener for me also. Let me see. All right, I was making sure that I don't have any other notes from his particular speech that he gave. So I don't have any other notes, and that was just a little gist. Again, his name is James Clear, and the book is called Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results, Atomic Habits. And I will put a little picture of the back of that book with the name on it for you guys. And there you go. Here is this video to sum up day 1 of Sensi Family Reunion General Session. After that, they let us out, and we went ahead, and they had food trucks out there, and they had a music room where you could put on the earphones and you could silent listen, so everybody could listen to what they wanted, and it was just silence. My roommates did not want to go to that, and so we just went back. I went back to the house, and you guys saw in my video, if you watched that video from that day, which was July the 31st, my 100-day reality challenge video, you saw that I was exhausted. So that's what happened on day 1. And so see you guys in the next clip, well, in the next video for day 2.